for some bacon rind. Before you know it, he's gone. He's so streamlined. Murphy, he's a magical teleporting dog. It's Murphy, he's a cute and curly golden demigod. Traveling the universe through space and time. How do you do it? You're key to this crime. Are you here? Are you there? Are you anywhere or everywhere? Murphy, he's a magical teleporting dog. It's Murphy, he's a cute and curly golden demigod. You're such a good dog. You're such a good dog.
Born in the smoke where the angels drown. Black halo cracked, but I still wear the crown. Truth got buried beneath your lies. Now I walk through fire with vengeance in my eyes. Every prayer sounds hollow tonight. Every saint got blood on white. You built your empire on fear and blame. Now the devil himself won't speak your name. I hear the choir screaming in reverse. Heaven closed the gates, now feel the curse. I'm the devil's advocate, the voice inside your head, the shadow in the mirror, the whisper from the dead. I drag the truth into the light and watch your kingdom break. You made a monster out of me. Now feel the hell you make. Chains on my soul, but they forge me strong. Turn my scars into battle songs. Your judgment carved into my skin, but I learned how to love the violence within. Ashes fall like freezing rain. Mercy died in the sound of chains. You can run, but you can't escape the reckoning wearing my face. No savior coming, no final grace. Just broken gods and a world erased. If sin is power, then let me reign. I kissed the dark and became the flame. I'm the devil's advocate, the end you can't outrun. The last breath in the silence when the war is finally won. I tear the heavens from the sky and leave the stars to fade. You created this demon, now bow to what you made.
All right, welcome everybody to a Crimes After Dark on a Wednesday. I think that's it. Wednesday? It's a Wednesday night. Welcome to the show. This morning we did kind of a sort of impromptu live airing of the EWU versus Moscow hearing regarding public records requests and the fight going on there. We did a couple of hours on that. Robin was there. Cathy's Indie Zone was there. We had a good turnout for that. It was, especially considering we really didn't tell a lot of people we were going. We just kind of talked about it late last night on Crimes After Dark and said, yeah, I've got that on my calendar. Let's do it tomorrow. So we did it. We'll talk about that a little bit with Robin. It's a short crew. We got a lot of other people with commitments tonight, so it's just going to be Robin and I tonight. But we've got the Martha Smith interview from 11/16/2022 related to the Idaho 4. It's about 50 or 40 something minutes long. Half that's going to be redactions, so don't worry. There's going to be a lot of quiet times in that, I'm sure. I haven't listened to it yet. And then we've also got queued up the professor at WSU. I think it's the one that kind of referred to Brian Koberger as a misogynist who had problems with women, and we're going to hear all those kind of things. I've heard that that's got some spicy, angry moments in it as well. So if we have time, we'll do both. Since it's just Robin and I so far, maybe we'll invite another person to join us on stage, but it probably will just be Robin and I. We will plug through these interviews. We'll get your food for thought. We will try to make it as entertaining as possible. And then we'll see you the next night. And then Friday fuckery, and then everything goes off the rails at that point. Robin, how you doing? How you feeling after your car accident?
I was feeling fairly good this morning. I didn't think, it was going to be bad. Then this afternoon was a little dicey, but now I'm feeling better again. Well, that's
what drugs will do for you.
That's right. That's right. The good old ibuprofen, man.
Yeah, I get it.
So,
yeah. Well,
yep. But no, it could have been a lot worse. So, and thank you to everybody out there for the well wishes and the prayers and your generosity. Very, thank you very much. Appreciate it. So, but no, I'm excited to be here. Today was great. We had Cathy up with us and from Cathy's Indie Zone. So that was wonderful. Yeah, we had and all you guys that came out, we loved seeing all of you and love seeing all of you now.
Yeah. Cathy really knows her legal documents, so she gives me a run for her money when she gets talking about some of the things. I'm like, damn, she knows that shit inside and out.
I know. I'm like, I don't know how she remembers all the dates and everything. I'm like,
I was wondering, have you seen Ange K in the chat tonight? Because
I did not see Ange K tonight.
We got a nice donation from Ange K, and so I wanted to say thank you for that. Yeah, you did, and we did as well for the channel as well. So she gave us both. So yeah.
Yeah, there were several. I don't know if you want your name said or not, but I'll be happy to. You guys have been very generous, and thank you. Myself and Essie appreciate that. It's a little bit of a dicey time right now. So, but I don't know where the cats are. Somebody in the Janae. Oh, he's over on the other chair. He'll probably be along after a while. The crime cat. I hear when the camera's fired up. So.
Yeah, he seems to always appear when you're on camera. That's the way that cat rolls. I heard you had a monologue from one that he delivered to you to give it tonight.
I do. So
I gotta quit yawning. What the hell is going on? Like it's not like I don't get good sleep, but I've been worn out.
I don't know, but yes, I do have one. Sir 11 did give us a monologue, so I'll be happy to do that.
All right, fire it at us.
All righty. So, is it good to be alive in the den on a Wednesday night? All right. So, Juliana Jackson, you are the apples of your daddy's eyes, and Mrs. 11, you know how much he adores you. So, some nights arrive with a warning, a strange silence, a shadow where it should not be. A feeling that tells you to turn around. This night did not. There was rain, a quiet fraternity party, and students moving through Moscow, Idaho, believing they were living through another ordinary Saturday. Xana Kernodle spent part of the evening with friends near the Sigma Chi house. She talked about Ethan Chapin, their relationship, and the future they might one day share. Around 2 a.m, someone photographed Xana playing a guitar, alive, surrounded by friends. unaware that within hours, that image would become one of the final fragments of her life. Later, students ordered food, visited nearby houses, and returned home. Nothing appeared dangerous. No obvious confrontation. No unmistakable threat. The witness would later tell investigators that this was the most disturbing part. There was nothing weird. By the following afternoon, Xana, Ethan, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Madison Mogan were dead inside the King Road house. In the days that followed, grief collided with uncertainty. There were rumors of a possible stalker, questions about a hooded figure seen in a late night food truck video, and theories involving strangers, drugs, and people from the victim's pasts. But rumors are not evidence. The witness repeatedly admitted when she did not know whether something was true. She offered investigators names, memories, and suspicions while struggling to understand who could have wanted to harm her friends. She believes Xana and Ethan may not have been the intended targets, that they may simply have crossed paths with the killer. Awake, nearby, in the wrong place at the worst possible moment. Before the murders, she had spoken publicly about how safe she felt walking through Moscow at night. Afterward, that safety felt like an illusion because the danger had not been hiding somewhere far away. It had entered a crowded student neighborhood, walked into a familiar house, and disappeared before sunrise. Tonight, we examine one of the early witness interviews connected to the Idaho student murders, an interview filled with ordinary memories, uncertain theories, and one haunting realization. Sometimes evil does not announce itself. Sometimes the darkest warning is that there was no warning at all. I'm Robin. Lock the doors, lower the lights. This is Crimes After Dark. And with that, live from PA, this is Wednesday night.
Sweet. It's just like one was here.
Oh no. I don't have a New York accent.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But you got an East Coast accent, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I don't hear an accent in you.
I probably have a redneck accent.
Well, welcome to the show, and let's we've got again the Martha Smith interview from 11/16/2022. Let's talk a little bit about that EWU thing this morning. One of the most aggravating things that made me lose my mind was when EWU gave an example of records they requested, which were, for example, the first interview that Bethany and Dylan gave, and the city of Moscow's attorney responded, "That's too vague. We need to know the date and the time of that interview and what officer conducted the interview, because how are we supposed to be able to find it?" And I about lost my shit. How fucking hard is it for you to figure out that it's the first interview they did? I have to identify for you what officer did the interview and where it was conducted. And what if I get it wrong by a couple of hours? Does that mean I don't get it because I have to know it was done at 3:00 or 1:00? Like I need to know the date and the time and the officer that did it, or we just can't find that in our records. It's just too difficult. And I thought to myself, this is the department that we're working with. This is the city, and the city attorneys are going to use that kind of logic that we can't possibly figure out what you're looking for when you ask for the first interview of Dylan or Bethany. That's very confusing. What do you mean? What date, what time, what officer was involved in that? We can't find that. That's very hard. So if it's so hard for you to find something like that, how did you expect Ann Taylor to find anything in all the discovery?
Well, that's just it, and it's just complete bullshit because, how they've kept such things so under wraps that how are we supposed to know when some of these were first done? Because it's not like their reports are always accurate either. Obviously, as we have gone through these interviews and we've compared them to the written reports, we see how much bullshit is left out. We see how much things are not stated correctly. There are dates that are wrong. I mean, they're just hiding behind all kinds of these little technicalities.
And I feel like they would purposely, I feel like at this point, they would purposely misfile something under the wrong date and then say, well, we looked at the date you suggested and we can't find anything. And that would be their loophole out. Well, we looked in our
Right.
records for the date you said, but there was nothing there, so it must not exist. Oh, and then later, if you push and say, I know you have to have it, they'll be like, oh, well, it was misfiled. If you could prove that they actually had it, and so it's that they're playing games. I think that's all that is.
Yeah.
Cathy
yeah.
Zone, who joined us this morning. Hey, Devil's Advocates. I located the Detective Payne report regarding the Koberger interrogation. He wrote it in May 2023, 6 months later, and it clearly states he put the video into evidence at MPD. So what Cathy's talking about, and we'll get Cathy on screen here if she wants to come join us. Robin, put that link in there for her if you will.
Yeah.
What she's talking about is one of the things, for example, that Iwu is talking about is why don't we have the interrogation video of Brian Koberger in Pennsylvania? The city's response is, hey, it's not our record. That's a Pennsylvania record. And Iwu was like, it was a Moscow Police Department detective that did the interview. So, and then Cathy piped up and said, not only that, but Payne said he put it into their evidence. So Moscow definitely has that interview. They definitely have it, but they want to lie to you and tell you, I'm sorry, that's not our record. That's Pennsylvania record. And Pennsylvania says, I'm sorry, that's not our record. That's Moscow Police Department's investigation. Both sides point at each other and say, sorry, that's not our record. And so Iwu is imploring the judge, make someone cough this shit up. They can't point at each other and say they're the one with the record and say, well, it's not my record. And as Cathy said, she found the evidence that Payne admitted that he put that interview into record. He's got it. We know he has it. So how can they play the game of, we're not sure what you're talking about. We don't have that record. You do have that record.
Exactly.
So let's get Cathy to enlighten us a little bit on that as well.
Hi, Lee. Hey,
Hi.
Robin. How you feeling?
Somewhat better. Could definitely have been worse. So I'm gonna be just fine. So, but thank you so much for asking. I appreciate it.
Yeah, earlier today, everyone, we watched together the very important EWU Media versus City of Moscow and Moscow Police Department oral argument in front of Judge Megan E. Marshall. And the issue, one of the things that EWU has been looking for is this interrogation video that was conducted by Detective Brett Payne of the Moscow Police Department and Detective Darren Gilbertson of the Idaho State Police. They were the two people that conducted this interview. They flew out to Pennsylvania. This happened really within an hour after his arrest. It's at 2 a.m. So it would show you his body language, his demeanor, as well as what he's telling the investigators. Detective Payne did not write a contemporaneous report. Robin, this morning I had told you that it was written in March. It was not.
Yeah.
It was written in May. So this is 6 months later. And I have the receipts. I did a video on this last year. It's on my community page, and you'll see in there what he says. But it clearly says that he put into evidence three things: copy of the video from Pennsylvania, a copy of Detective Gilbertson hand recorded, he voice recorded the interview, and a word for word verbatim transcript. It is in evidence, or was
Cathy,
placed here by MPD.
Would you somehow be willing to get me that document so I can, I'm going to, after the show tonight, I'm going to go to the public records portal and use that document to prove to them that they have it in evidence and it's documented, so I can ask for it, because you've got the paperwork all done with exact. So I would love to be able to use that and say, per this document, you do have this record and we want
100%. Give me your email in in the comments section or here, and I will get it to you. Okay.
Perfect. I'm going to type
And
that
I would
right
also,
now.
if I could suggest, Lee, you go to ISP and ask for the audio recording. I don't think anyone's done that from Gilbertson.
Well, did Payne enter the audio as well, though, or did it?
He's saying all of the materials were entered. You'll see there is a section of the MPD reports. There's a section stating what they're putting into evidence, like if they've taken fingerprints of major crime scene fingerprints, it's entered into evidence. And MPD, being the lead agency, is where all of this would go into. So
I
I'll show you
remember-
exactly where it is.
I remember reading about the interview. I remember reading about them asking them about sports for quite some time. And I think it was Koberger who finally said, was it appropriate for them to be talking about all these things after they've been talking about sports for the longest time?
He's not a stupid man. I mean, he is not a stupid man. And but what gets me, two points, Robin and Lee. Number one, the first thing that Detective Payne states that he said when he was introduced to Detective Payne was, "Oh, you do look familiar." And
Yes,
then later on,
yes.
he begins speaking about, you know, what he's doing at WSU, and he said that basically as part of his studies there, that he had worked for two police departments, two law enforcement agencies. And I'm curious if that's how he ran into Payne at some point.
Super interesting. I didn't know that he had specifically said that. So that's really super interesting.
Yes. And then at a certain point, he does say he does invoke his rights to counsel. And then they stopped at that, but there's 45 minutes. And can you imagine, Lee, this is literally minutes after he's pulled out of his house. This big raid, like it's, World War III or whatever it is, with these tanks and everything. I want to see his demeanor. I want to see his body language. I want to see, like, how if you're not looking at Robin, I know that I think you've pointed this out when people do interviews, if they're not looking you straight in the eye, if they're looking up, if they're looking down,
body language.
I want to see if he's being truthful by what the body language tells us, as well as we're getting Detective Payne's recitation, and we know that when we've seen what the law enforcement officials say are on body cams and what's on the body cam are a lot of times two different things.
Yeah. And it's funny you mention it because we need to get at this interview here. But what's funny you mentioned it is during that EWU discussion this morning, the subject, the issue of blurring out people's faces during interviews, because it is important to see body language. It is important to see if they roll their eyes or look up into the left or up into the right, if they're trying to create something in their mind, a story. Body language matters. It matters to detectives and it matters to us, the public. But when they were asking, why is everything blurred? Why do you have to blur their face? Well, the public would go knock on these people's doors if we don't blur their faces. We have to blur their faces because the conspiracy theory community would be all over these people. And I'm like, this is horse shit. Other videos aren't redacted to this point, but they're using this particular case has a bunch of conspiracy theorists over it, and you'll go knock on their doors if we show their face, so we can't show their face for their own privacy. And I'm like, that's bullshit.
No, it is. It is absolutely. I mean, the only person who's ever been, accused of employing conspiracy theories is Cy by Judge Hippler, and no one else has ever been within the context of the court case been designated as that.
So speaking of, we got to blur their faces. We get Martha Smith, and we get her face plain as day on this picture. But of course, we're not going to probably have, I don't think, any video with this. I think this is going to be just audio. This is the way it usually is. So. I'm going to start playing this audio. I'm going to grab a soda from the other room, a soda or a pop, depending on what part of the country you're from, because apparently you call it differently if you're on the East Coast or the West Coast. But I'm going to grab something to drink. Robin, you've got control, I think, of the play button in case we need to pause. I got a slight echo coming through on one of your microphones, by the way. I don't know which one it is, but there's a slight echo. I can hear myself in the background. But let's get this started real quick, and I'll step away, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, it is November 18th at 2:17 p.m. This is Idaho State Police Detective Matt Wernsing and HSI Task Force Officer Sage Collins. And we are here with, if you could please spell your first and last name.
Oh, here we go. And no, I don't have control of the button.
Here we go with the redactions, right?
Yeah.
And I know I just asked you this, but we'll get on the recording. So how do you know the victims of this?
So Xana was a really close friend of mine. I'd say outside of my story, like she was one of like the closest people, my closest friends group we had. We were always together. Not always together, but like on the weekends and stuff. Like that's who I partied with, and that's who I was always around. And then Ethan was a really good friend of mine from a fraternity I was really close to. I knew of Maddie Mogan, and I had never met Kaylee.
Okay, sorry you didn't have the button. Holy shit, this girl's going to give me a run for the money with how fast she talks. Did you hear that?
I think it's you that has the echo, Lee.
It can't be.
No. Maybe it's Cathy.
Is it me?
Well, here, let me do.
Let's test it.
I'll mute her for a second. Okay, now is there any echo? Echo.
No, it's Cathy then.
It's
Okay.
Cathy.
Okay, let me try. I'm going to sign out and sign back in if I could.
All right. If
Okay.
you need the link again, we'll throw it out there again.
Okay. Yeah, throw it out if you could. Bye, guys.
Okay.
What the hell's
What was
she's
that?
saying something? She's saying goodbye. Thank you to somebody in the background. Where the hell are they doing this interview? We're playing the audio. What the hell?
Are they doing a phone interview?
And correct me if I'm wrong. You had spent a little bit of time with Xana and Ethan the night or two prior to the incident, correct? Okay. That's right. So we just kind of walk through, I guess, go as far back as you feel is pertinent. And then as you're recalling things, I would say don't, if there's like a small detail that you think is like, oh, that's not important or something like that, or something that, maybe doesn't sit well with you. We're trying to gather as much information as we can. And so anything big or small, any information that you have, we'll take from you. So like I said, go back about as far as you think is pertinent in regard to Saturday or even Friday. And just, like I said, we'll kind of give you like an open narrative forum to.
Okay. So Saturday was like kind of a weird day.
Whew.
It was raining. It was like the last home football game, and there just wasn't a ton of people out. And it was in Vision, Idaho, so it was supposed to be dry on campus. And so we weren't even supposed to really have a lodge party. And a lodge party is typically what like Semper Chi would throw. They threw it all the time. It was like verified through the university, verified through FSL. Like it was fine. And we all showed up to the lodge party, and it was kind of a weird, like there weren't many people. Like it was kind of slow. Like usually the lodge party is kind of the biggest party on campus. And, like everybody comes, and they keep names on everybody that comes in. And so Semper Chi has a complete list of everyone that walks through the door.
Real quick, so I like to answer some of these questions as I see them. Has Bethany ever been back in Idaho since that night? I believe so, but here's the thing. I believe she was concerned about coming back. I believe she was concerned about being arrested if she came back for some reason. I heard that. Someone told me though that she's been back several times.
Yes.
And so and she was not going to be arrested, but there was concern on her part about coming back, I heard. So she left very, very early, but she had been back several times.
Yeah, she was back for social engagements, but
yeah,
not to speak with police or anything, to our knowledge anyway.
All right, let's get into it.
And real quick, not to interrupt you, I apologize.
You're good.
I am not remarkably familiar with Greek culture. What is a lodge party?
So a lodge party, the only reason they call it a lodge party is Semper Chi's like big party room is like they call it the lodge.
Okay.
And so everybody, you go in, whatever, at like the front of the door, like there's certain people that will like last year, I never walked through the door with like the guys at the front, but they have like people who are sober at the front, like looking at vandal IDs, like taking names down, because for FSL you have to make sure like you know who's coming in and out.
And what is FSL?
Fraternity and sorority life. So it's like a group of like adults that like make sure that everything's good. And they keep tabs on everybody, but like for me, like I would usually be at the pregame, so I wouldn't be involved in that like list, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And like if I walked through, like obviously like I ran for their sweetheart, so like I probably didn't get written down. But like anybody who like they don't know or like are super familiar with, typically it's written down or they have to be on the list. And so you go in, whatever. There wasn't a ton of people there that night, and so I spent a lot of time in the apartments that night. So Semper Chi is set up, and they have like their big party room like right here, and then they have like a grassy area out here, and then like apartments that go around like in this like big like square. And we were in an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting in there, and I guess I walked in, and Xana was in there, and I always like every time I see Xana, it was always like, oh my god, thank God you're here. Like, so we sat down and we talked for a while about like how healthy her and Ethan's relationship was, and how she was really excited for her like wedding with him, because it was, I mean, like, not that they were going to get married anytime soon, but just like hypothetically speaking, like some Mackay Pi wedding would be like really fun and stuff. She talked about that for a while. I think I went back in and out of the lodge a couple times. And like Xana, like that group could party pretty hard, and like sometimes you look over and be like, oh my gosh, you guys are really drunk right now. Like, of course, like me too, like all of us, you know, we're in Greek life. And Xana like wasn't super drunk that night. Like it wasn't like she was like plastered by any means. And my friend in this other room took a photo of her that night at 2:00 when she was at Sigma Chi playing the guitar and put it on her story. And so obviously she has that photo. You guys want to see it here, or is it just
Yeah.
like?
Unfortunately, for those who asked me to turn it up a bit louder, I can't. If you look over here, here's my volume. That's turned up as full volume as I can get. Let me look at one more setting. Nope, I can't. There's nothing more I can. I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I'm sorry about that.
Lee, do you think she's from back east? I mean, the way she talks so fast.
You know what's funny? People keep asking me if I'm from the East Coast because of how fast I talk. I talk fast, and she's got a fast talk. I don't know.
No,
Is that an East Coast
She talks
thing?
a lot faster. You can't. It's hard to understand her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm from PA. I don't know. Do I talk super fast?
No, you don't talk fast. And I was born and raised on the West Coast, so I don't know where I picked up my speak. But anyways, yeah, I do know where I got it from, but we won't get into it because you don't need to psychoanalyze my ass on everything I do. All right, let's keep playing this.
If you wouldn't mind.
Have it. So many photos from recently. So this is on Jack's story right at 2:00 in the morning in Sigma Chi, and that's Xana.
All right, and that was
That's at 2:00.
2:00.
It doesn't say it.
Like
but
right
on
at
her-
2:00?
Yeah, right at 2:00. It's on timestamps. I just have a screenshot of her story.
and who's
The girl over here.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't really know how she got home that night, but like, I know when everybody was leaving, I think Xana and Ethan just got up and walked home. Like, I don't think that they didn't go anywhere else. I think they just went home after that.
Of course, nobody seems to know when exactly they got back to 1122 King Road residence. Everybody knows they left, but they don't necessarily know when they got home. By the way, one thing I noticed, we kind of got this, that echoes back a little bit, Cathy, but I don't know, sorry. The one thing I noticed is that we didn't mention where we got this video from. Was this one of the ones obtained from Connor, by the way? Because I do want to shout out where we got it from. And I know sometimes we pull these videos down kind of on a back download kind of thing, and then we don't have the source site. I didn't want to just completely cut out the person who got the public records request for us. But do we know?
I'm pretty sure it was Connor.
Most of the
maybe
stuff
Amanda
out lately
can
has been
speak to
Connor.
that.
But,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's had so much great stuff lately. So if you're not subscribed to his channel, make sure that you do so, please.
Yeah, if we have the link, throw that out there for people to subscribe to.
Yeah, let me grab it.
Okay.
Hey, Lee,
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
I don't know what this echo's coming from, but I wanted to let you know before I think I'm going to scoot out. I put in chat where you can find the pain report.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to see in there that he put the documents, all of the video, the audio, and the transcript of the Koberger investigation into evidence. Very clearly.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
All right. Thanks. All right.
And I got a ride home with a kid named who was the Sigma Chi sober bro. Remember how I said like there's like sober kids that sit at the door and watch who comes in? Mine was one of those sober bros.
Okay.
And so he gave me a ride home to Game of 5. And then probably like literally right after went to Grub Truck and picked up Kaylee and Morgan. Maddie,
What?
Sorry, I was safe.
Hold on. What did I just hear? So she had did she say sober bro? Is that what they call it? A sober bro?
Yeah.
From that drove her because he was a sober guy. And then he picked up Kaylee and Maddie. So I thought Eric Gower is Eric Gower the sober bro from Sigma? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but
oh, so yeah. And I thought Gower was the one that picked up Kaylee and Maddie to take them to the corner club that night, and then later took him home. So now I'm confused. Who's the sober bro or sobro? Who's the sobro? Sober bro?
Yeah, the sobro.
This and is it the same person that picked up Kate? I got to go back and listen to it.
I was just gonna say, back that ass up.
All right, let's do it.
And I don't really know how she got home that night, but like, I know when everybody was leaving, I think Xana and Ethan just got up and walked home. Like, I don't think that they didn't go anywhere else. I think they just went home after that. And I got a ride home with a kid named Mike, who was the Sigma Chi sober bro. Remember how I said like there's like sober kids that sit at the door and watch who comes in? Mike was one of those sober bros. Okay. And so he gave me a ride home to Game of 5. And then probably like literally right after went to Grub Truck and picked up Kaylee and Morgan.
Kaylee and Morgan.
Yeah, and then she corrects it. I mean, Maddie.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But still, it leaves confusion because the guy that's taking her home sounds like a Mike or something like that. It starts with it's not Eric,
and it's not Gower.
And then she thinks, now she could be wrong, but she thinks that he's the one that went and picked up Kaylee and Morgan or Maddie from the Grub Truck. Whit James says Gower did pick Kaylee and Maddie up. I think she's wrong in this because Eric was an alumni. It makes no sense at his age why he would be giving sober. I agree. Right. It is very possible she's just flat out wrong, that she thought the person who dropped her off is the person that went and picked the girls up. But it's one of those things that you still, when you hear it, you have to like, hold on a second. Who did pick the girl? And I'll tell you why. I saw a video. It was a little thing, but they showed a video of the car picking Kaylee and Maddie up, and they said, and here's the silver car or whatever picking them up, and it was a different color car. It wasn't the same color. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. You just said that was the car that picked them up, and it was silver, but it's not silver. It's black or what. I'm like, this fucking case. Can anybody say the right thing? I don't know, but I'm gonna keep saying.
Maddie, sorry, I was saying the last name. Yeah, Maddie and Kaylee. And in the Grub Truck video, you can see a bunch of stigmatized and a bunch of kids are there and they're all hanging out with them, and then they walk over out of that video and they go over to their sober bro car and drove them home.
What the fuck? Hold on. She is saying they went home with that guy. She says you can see it on the video. Hold on. Am I making a mountain out of a molehill? What the fuck's going on here? Hold on.
Probably like literally right after went to Grub Truck and picked up Kaylee and Morgan. Maddie, sorry, I was saying the last name. Yeah, Maddie and Kaylee. And in the Grub Truck video, you can see a bunch of stigmatized and a bunch of kids are there and they're all hanging out with them, and then they walk over out of that video and they go over to their sober bro car and drove them home.
Correct if I am wrong. She got a ride home from a sober bro that sounds like Mike, and then he went to the Grub Truck, and you can see on the Grub Truck video a bunch of Sigma Chi guys hanging out, and then the girls go over to the sober bro's car. She said that. So yes, she could be wrong, but she just said you can see them go over to the car in the video. Like, why am I confused?
Or is she that confused?
She says you can see it on the video. I told you that when she was when you see the video, it looks like a different color car anyways. Which she says a lot in this video. It's crazy. All right. Well, this doesn't seem to match. I swear she's saying the guy who drove her home is the same guy that took the girls home from the Grub Truck, and you can see that in the video. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
This guy took me home and then went and picked up Maddie and Kaylee, and you can see it on the Grub Truck video.
Hi, AR.
Welcome, AR Hayes. How you doing? Hope you're feeling good. I know you've been going through some rough times lately, last we heard. All right, let's keep playing.
After we got home, we went to bed.
And you said, I'm sorry, you said
yeah, and picked up.
And is a guy or gal?
He is a guy.
Okay.
She clearly thinks that she clearly thinks she knows exactly who picked up Maddie and Kaylee, and it doesn't seem like it's Eric. So again, I don't know what to make of this. I guess I just don't know what to make of it. She clearly thinks she knows who picked up the girls, and you can see it on the video, and it's not Eric Gower. So I'm confused. Why am I confused?
Well,
Yes, this is
I
what
think
she's
maybe
saying. You were
confused.
correct, Lee, but she's not correct. Connor posted the text between Kaylee and Eric Gower from that. Look, I don't doubt one bit. We know Eric Gower's name is all over this. We've seen the text. I agree with you. So my question is, how can she be so wrong about this? How can she literally say you can see in the video them getting into the same car that drove her away? How can she be that wrong? That's my point. I agree. Eric Gower is officially the one who picked him up. It's all over the reports. I agree with that. My question is, how is she so wrong about that? That's the part I'm confused about. Or there's the other option. She's not wrong about it, and the reports are wrong about it. That's the other. I mean, I know people say that's impossible, but something doesn't match up. Somebody's wrong. Either she's wrong, and the guy that took her home, and she sees picking up the girls at the Grub Truck, she's completely wrong about all of that. That's one option. She's lying about it, and she knows it's not the person who picked him up, and she's lying for some reason. That's another option. Or the reports are wrong, and it wasn't Eric Gower that picked him up. It was somebody else. One of those things have to be true. She's either completely mistaken, flat out lying, or the reports are lying.
Oops, that's not.
I think she's saying that. What was that? What last one? I think.
I'm sorry.
She's saying that, but genuinely the Sobros from frats, and so why would a Sigma Chi go pick up Kaylee and Maddie? That's what I'm confused about. I don't mean to take forever, but I'm a devil's in the details kind of guy, and this is really bugging the piss out of me. She's a student body president for U of I. She goes into the cartel later. Fuck.
Oh.
Called him sober bro.
Uh-huh. I don't know if he was sober, but I think he just came to get the Grub Truck, but I know my was the sober bro driver that night.
All right.
It's a mic or something.
And I'm sorry, did you say you went down to the Grub Truck?
I did not.
Thank you, Whit James, for becoming a member. Appreciate that very much, and appreciate your comments tonight.
No.
Okay.
I went home. So picked me up only. And
What is a man doc saying? It's not true, Lee. What's not true? What's not true, Lee? What's not true? Tell me before I lose it. No, she doesn't. She works in Washington, D.C. Oh, Amanda. So somebody told me she works for U of I, and she's saying, no, that's not true. She works in Washington, D.C. Did she work at U of I at the time and now works at D.C.? Like, that's the $1 million question. Can both things be correct? I looked into her. She was a real estate license, and she is working in Washington, D.C. And Amanda does not believe emphatically that she was not in the damn cartel. I think they said she was going to talk about the cartel. We'll see. Let's see. Let's just play it and see.
it was like one of the last people left. I almost walked home alone that night.
And he picked you up from
Sigma Chi.
Sigma Chi.
Because he's a Sigma Chi, and he drove me back to.
Do you know about what time that was?
That must have been probably right around 2.
So she's got the general time right, but she thinks a completely different person drove them home than what the records say.
From there, went and picked up the girls from the Grub Truck.
I don't know if he went home first, but I know he's in the Grub Truck video, and I know that's who drove them home.
She knows that same driver is in the Grub Truck video, and she knows he's the one that drove them home. And everybody's going to counter with me, Lee, we know Eric Gower drove them home. The records say so. I get that. But do you not understand why this is bugging me? She's telling you a different person took them home, and she knows it. You can see it in the video, she says. And I pointed out that the car that they say is Eric Gower's car in the video isn't the right color. So I questioned that too when I saw it. I saw it in a documentary. They're like, here, you see this car. And I'm like, that's not this Eric Gower's car. Whose car is that? I feel like I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone with this case.
And why? My question is, what would be her motive for trying to give false information? Is she for some reason trying to throw people off the scent, or what is happening here with her?
I just don't understand. Yeah, I mean, how is she that grossly wrong
And I'm not saying she's right, but
or wrong. I'm not saying she's right or wrong.
right.
I just find it interesting that it's not consistent.
Right.
All right, let's keep going.
When you say the Grub Truck video, you mean the like live feed Twitch one?
Yes. This Doug. Yes. Jack Showalter said the girls got into a silver car, but it's dark in the video. I agree. There's no that car was not a silver car. That's my problem. It was
like gray.
I don't even think it was very. It wasn't. It was like really dark to me.
Yeah,
and I said that's not a silver car.
Yeah, silver is different than gray. There is a distinction. So silver is not gray.
Anyways, all right.
Alrighty, so you were at Sigma Chi. Did you spend most of the time there at that apartment you were talking about?
Mm-hmm. I didn't go into any other apartments that night.
And did you go anywhere else? Did you go back into
and Davey's like, so Showalter is trustworthy? No, but this is my point. Why? So I don't want to make a huge deal about it. This is one of the reasons why I don't sometimes like to do things live, because I might have to eat my words later. What I'm saying is the story about who picked the girls up and took them home has been set in stone. But then you start looking at video and you're like, that's not the right color car. And then you look at other testimony and they're saying it was somebody else that picked them up. And now you have to wonder who really picked the girls up that night and why isn't it consistent? If it's so clear, why do we not see exactly what they told us was the case? Why is there an inconsistency?
Right.
Lodge or anything like that?
Well, I went back and forth to the lodge in that apartment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was Xana there the whole time?
I think Xana came back. Xana was just kind of bopping with us, like just back and forth to the lodge, apartment, hang out for a little bit, kind of thing.
All right. When was the last time you saw Xana before? Where does Jay live?
She's
okay.
So she's with me.
And
we live in the same house.
Okay. And the video that you saw is in room, you said?
The video, so the photo I just showed you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a photo of Xana in the apartment that we were all hanging out at 2 a.m. at Sigma Chi.
Okay. All right, so when was the last time that you saw Xana at Sigma Chi in your...
Well, I sat with her for a really long time, and then I sat with... So probably the last time I sat down and talked to Xana, it was probably around 12:45-ish, maybe.
Did you see Xana leave? Was she there when...
Jack probably did.
Do you know if she was still there when you left?
I think she was.
Okay.
But I don't know that for a fact.
Okay.
I was kind of on the left there.
Alrighty.
So.
And so you got a ride home from...
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened?
I went home. We had ordered pizza, so we were all sitting in my, like, what they call like the day room. So you have like your day room where you keep all your stuff, and like the porch is where we all sleep. And I was hanging out with all my friends in our day room eating pizza. And then one of our friends texted us and was like, "Hey, do you guys want to come over to bed?" And we're like, "Yeah." And so we were at bed probably till around like 4-ish in the morning. And then the next day I woke up and I was supposed to go study with some of the Sigma Chi's. And so I went over to Sigma Chi around noon when we all found out about this.
Got it. Did you stay at the house?
No.
Whoa.
Oh, we all came back.
What?
Okay, so you...
Whoa. She said she went over around noon to Sigma Chi when they all found out about it. You mean she didn't get the vandal alert or anything? Or nobody else called her or Snapchatted her early in the morning like a lot of them did with each other?
Yeah, good point. Good point.
To bed around 4.
No, we went to bed probably around 2:30 and then came back around 4. And Ben is our next door neighbor. Okay. Sigma Chi is like, so we have like Old Greek where it's like like most of the Greek houses, and then like all the way across campus on Admin Lawn is where Sigma Chi AGD AKL is.
Okay.
So it's like it's like a separate thing. Yeah, it's a pretty good walk. It's a solid like 5-6 minute, 7 minute walk.
And you said they're your next, like they're actually your next door neighbor. I'm really sorry. What sorority are you in?
Yeah.
And where is your house and the house in reference to the victim's house? Are they anywhere close?
They're very far away.
Okay.
Well, not, I mean, like, far away in terms of, like, it's, like, the other side of campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over by, like, the Sigma Chi or?
Theirs is, like, their house is, like, literally, I was standing in the lodge, that lodge, where we had the lodge.
It's funny, by the way. I'm sorry for the typing that you probably heard. So Amanda tends to grab a lot of documents for us. So Robin's asking Amanda if we have the written statement in the report from this girl. How much you want to bet, Robin? How much you want to bet that her description about who picked the girls up from the Grub Truck didn't make it into the report?
That's
how much
what
you
I'm
want to bet?
thinking.
I'm going to bet money it's not in there.
That's why I want to see. I love comparing the written reports.
This is one I really want. This is the one I really want to see.
It.
I bet you it doesn't make it in. I'll be surprised.
Yep. Looking across to Xana's house when all the cops showed up.
Okay.
Like it's like right there.
Okay.
You walk across and that's like King Street is where everyone lives. Like King Street is like where all the parties happen. Like that's where everybody is. It's like chock.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
So you came home around 4 from the house.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so what happened after you came home?
Just went to bed.
Went to bed, and you woke up
probably around 11 because I was studying at noon. You know, and at first we didn't know, you know, what it was. So there was a little bit there where we thought it'd be fentanyl or like carbon monoxide or something. But like Xana and Ethan weren't big drug people by any.
So the fentanyl thing is really weird. So again, Lanier right outside the house said, rumor is this was a fentanyl overdose followed by a homicide. And then she said, we all thought it was fentanyl or carbon monoxide, she said. So she thought the house got gassed and everybody died. Like, it's just weird. Yeah. Some of the stuff she says is très strange, as Davey says, très strange.
I never saw them do coke ever.
Well, she doesn't know them very well. Or she lies. That's possible. She doesn't think, maybe she doesn't. And again, keep in mind, she might think that they could get somebody in trouble if she talks about them doing coke. So just because she said they never did coke. It might not be that she doesn't ever know they did coke. She might be thinking, oh, I'm not going to get anybody in trouble for talking about
that. Had you seen them do any other drugs?
Maybe like a roll, but like nothing. It was mostly just alcohol and like I don't even Xana like really didn't even take edibles or anything. I also saw that night too.
Who's
one of the roommates that survived.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just
No, you're fine.
thinking about stuff.
Tell like Bethany.
I do know some of the players, but just for the sake of this kind of being, we'll call it an isolated interview.
Okay.
I'm just going to have you pretend like I don't know anything, don't know who anybody is. And so if you refer to somebody, I may just clarify that.
Perfect.
Yes, there's a reason why there's a Quad City multi-jurisdictional task force, I added that for you, where local, state, federal agencies are working to tamp down a drug trade here in Moscow. Yes, I agree.
Mhm.
Know that there was a multi-jurisdictional drug task force. I've said all along, I think that's a major key. I think that's a major key to what happened. So yes, I agree with you. 100%.
You said you saw Saturday night.
I saw yeah, I
Oh,
was,
Baman,
I was
sorry.
sitting, I'm sorry, I was sitting with Xana. Sitting with Xana, or was I sitting with? I was sitting with somebody talking on the couch that I talked to Xana at. Walked in
At Sigma Chi.
at Sigma Chi in that same apartment. We chatted for a second and then she left.
Do you know about what time that was?
I can't be certain on that. Sometimes between midnight and 2.
By the way, this comment about the carbon monoxide, I personally don't make a lot about it, because if someone just heard 4 people are dead in that house, rumors jump quick. How the hell did 4 people die? Like, did they have a gas leak and everybody died in their sleep? Like, that would be the kind of questions that would jump around just randomly. So I don't know that I put a whole lot of stock in the carbon monoxide comment, because it could have been somebody guessing, like, what do you mean 4 people died in the house? How'd that happen? Like, did they have a gas leak and everybody died in their sleep? Like, how the fuck does that happen? So I don't know.
Sorry, I had to take a photo of an email that has a little bit of information on it. I apologize.
I have it. Is this one?
Oh yeah. This is a good point too. A lot of people think nobody wants to be associated with Kaylee because she was a CI and it got fat. That's a great point. It's a great point.
It is.
If Kaylee was a CI and that's what got her killed and several people in the house, and people know that the CI got killed because of snitching or whatever the case may be, then people are going to want to disassociate from Kaylee really quickly. Wasn't fucking me. I'm not saying shit, because they know what happens if you're friends with the CI. So yeah, I could get your logic on that. If that's what your logic was, I think I can get your logic on that.
Is that it? The one with all the colors?
No, it's there's like an addendum.
I would do anything to find those guys.
I would imagine so.
What guys? What guys? I would do anything to find those guys. Does she think more than one person committed the murders? Was that, or am I reading something into that? I would do anything to find those guys. Those guys, plural.
Well, to a lot of people, it's common sense that more than one
Yes.
more than one
Right.
person did this crime. But does she know something more? I don't know.
Yeah. So Amanda may have got that document dumped. Do you want to try to look what we're doing this, or me?
Yeah, I can do
You
it.
look. If you want to look, I'll keep this going.
Okay.
Do you know of any reason why somebody would want to hurt Xana or Ethan?
My gut feeling on this is that somebody was after either Kaylee or Maddie and then accidentally ran into Xana and Ethan. Xana and Ethan were like the most uncontroversial. I would say, like, and like I said, like even before.
And it is already super curious. Why does she assume that they were after Kaylee or Maddie? But it's interesting that she jumps to Kaylee.
Xana died, I would describe I describe her as the most popular girl in Rico. Everyone knew Xana and everyone loved Xana. Like every single hometown, like there's just no like. I've never been sitting in a room where somebody said like, "Oh my God, did you hear what Xana did?" Like it wasn't like that with her. She was just always nice to everybody. If she realized in a situation that somebody wasn't included, she would invite them to the pregame, like, sit with them. Like it didn't matter who you were. Xana was, And Ethan was the same way. I mean, Ethan was just one of those kids that like was into the drama, just super nice.
Other than you don't necessarily see somebody wanting to go after those two, is there any other reason why you think somebody would be targeting Maddie or Kaylee?
You know, when I had left Moscow, my mom had come pick me up, and a couple of the Sigma Chi's came over and hung out with us. A couple of our really close friends, and they said that Kaylee had a stalker or something to that extent. But I don't know the validity in that. I don't know where they got that. I don't know anything about that. There wasn't like, I mean, in terms of like animosity with anything, though. I mean, it's like, especially with those roommates. I mean, there was just no, like, there wasn't any fighting. And like, Xana and I had had like a lot of conversations because her out of house last year, the one directly next to the house that she was living in. I mean, they partied like all the time, like really hard. Not like drugs and stuff like that, but like wine night, tequila Tuesday, like, you know what I mean? Just drunk a lot. And she was telling me how great this year has been because she can like focus on school more and like, you know, she was going to the gym and she'd gotten a boyfriend, you know what I mean? Things were going really well. And that's why I don't know. So this summer I lived at,
Must be a really long address. Man, it's a really long address where she lives.
Yeah, really. She must be spelling it.
Is she drawing a picture of where she lived?
anyways, go back to bed. Like, it just, I mean, it was just like, it's such a porous, you know what I mean? It was so, everybody was just in everything and it just didn't, yeah. And Xana was over a lot too. So.
What have you heard other people say about this?
You know, there's a lot of different things rolling around. Nobody knows. The Twitch thing really freaked us out because, like, in my mind, when I look at that, like, I know that the thing, he's like not a suspect anymore.
What?
I know how guys are, and like adult men are just fucking scary sometimes when it comes to like dating and going home with people and stuff like that. And,
What? I need to back up here.
yeah. And Xana was over a lot too. So.
What have you heard other people say about this?
You know, there's a lot of different things rolling around. Nobody knows. The Twitch thing really freaked us out because, like, in my mind, when I look at that, like, I know that the thing, he's like not a suspect anymore. I know how guys are, and
Who was a suspect that was related to the Twitch thing? And she said he's not a suspect anymore. What's the Twitch thing?
Well, Twitch was where the Grub Truck video was posted. Is she talking about
Maybe the hoodie guy. Maybe she's talking
Showalter?
about Showalter. Okay, that would make sense. She's probably talking about Showalter.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's who she's talking about.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
like adult men are just fucking scary sometimes when it comes to like dating and going home with people and stuff like that. And
Hey, I take offense. Adult men are fucking scary. Adult men are fucking scary. Like is that how college girls are? They're like, fucking adult men are fucking scary. Those motherfuckers are scary. Adults are scary.
I don't know.
That's weird.
those girls look really uncomfortable in that, and he looks really nervous in it. I mean, of course you guys can't tell me anything about it, but like that to me, like my gut says that it's
Who looks nervous?
the guy that puts on his hood when he walks up. The guy
The
in the
hoodie
video
guy.
that's talking and like stands behind him the whole time.
Show
And then when
it.
they're walking away, he goes like that. And I just imagine,
Do you know who that was?
no, I wish I did.
Right. And you said he was in line behind them at the Grub Truck.
So the Grub Truck, yeah, the Grub Truck video, they walk up and he's standing like right next to Kaylee when he walks up. And then he gets the Grub Truck thing and he has his hat on backwards and he's got his hood off. And he goes and he stands a little bit further away because unless he's just an idiot, he doesn't know the Grub Truck streams. And he puts his hat on forward, puts his hoodie up, and then stands behind them like 10 feet the entire time. And then starts talking to some guy and they point at him and like Kaylee and Maddie kind of do like a "don't talk to us" kind of thing. And then when they're walking away, he went, and the direction he walks, if it's not mirrored or twisted or something like that, he like goes to walk toward them and like realizes they're with, and then directly walks like really hard the other direction.
Realizes they're with a couple of people. He realizes they're with a couple of people, and then he takes off the other direction. That's interesting. I'm really curious where the fuck she's getting all these extra details. Men aren't scary. I was arm wrestling champion until I got to high school. Men are weak. Just kidding. But I am a wrestling champion. Nice. I mean, some men are scary, to be fair.
That is
But
true.
but adult men in general may not all be scary. I don't know. All right, let's keep going.
And like that just looked really angry to me and wrong.
What kind of vehicle were?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know. It's my car, I think, because I was in it that night. I don't know what it was. I was drunk, so.
Okay.
So she's still insisting that they got into the same car she was in that night. She said, I was in that car earlier that night. So she still thinks that they got into the car of the driver that drove her from the party.
I don't know.
Car, SUV, truck,
Car.
color,
Green.
green car.
Green.
Green.
Green is more consistent with the car that I saw.
Yeah, and do we know who else had a green Elantra?
Yeah, the guy that lived behind them at 1122 that people were saying that might have been the actual Elantra that was suspect vehicle.
Yeah.
One, it was a green car.
Yeah.
Or the guy that lived there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, and my was totally ready to come. And like when I called him about this, I showed him the Twitch video, and he was like, "Oh my god!" And he like almost started crying to me on the phone. And
What?
I don't know if he's been talked to yet.
Okay.
So he was also sober and was super.
Monitoring.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay.
What's his last name?
Loach?
Spelling.
No, it's not
No,
Loach.
it's tough. Let me see.
I'll tell you right now, we're about halfway through this audio, but I might save this audio somewhere. I feel like there are hidden gems in this fucking thing. I feel like I got some creepy feelings about this audio already. Or she's just completely batshit making shit up.
And actually, while we're on that, can we grab your phone number as well?
Yeah. I didn't save. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is an odd statement for her to make.
I know, that's why I was trying to find out who she was talking about, that when they saw the video, they almost cried. Because you're right. If that was the bro driver, then why is he almost crying? Because they did get in his car that night and then they died, and he feels really weirdly connected to the whole thing. Like, but I don't want to jump to a bunch of conclusions. I don't know if that's the same person.
But it is odd.
Right. It makes me feel like what car they got onto is still up for debate. But
And I mean, when I got in his car, we were talking about how lucky he was that he was sober that night, because like that lodge party sucked so bad. Like nobody showed up, and he was like, "Thank God it wasn't like in Halloween or something." But yeah.
Of all the nights to be sober for, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Can I grab your phone number? Have you heard any other theories being thrown out there?
One that kind of makes me a little scared. I think the only people on campus that are like the only only people on campus that I've actually ever seen do coke or be involved in things like that, limits, like that kind of stuff, mix in there. And I don't do it. Like, it's just not my thing. But I'd tell you guys if I did, because we're doing this right now. But I've never done it, but I've watched people do it, and that I'd say that like Kaylee would have been in. I don't know if she would have done it, but I know like circles around her would have.
Huh. Interesting.
Yes, I don't know Kaylee. Like, Kaylee of all these people is the person I don't know.
Again, it baffles my mind that for years we didn't hear anything about Kaylee and drugs, and now all of a sudden every interview we're getting lately is all about Kaylee and cocaine, Kaylee and cocaine, Kaylee and cocaine. Why after 3 years are we just now getting interviews that talk about this? And it's always been like the mum subject, like she never would have done that, she wasn't into that kind of stuff, she was a good girl, blah blah blah.
Right.
And I'm not saying drugs make you bad, but the point being is that there's been nothing about this until the recent videos, and now all of a sudden every video has got Kaylee and cocaine in it. That's weird. I'm hitting play again, so this is redacted. Redacted.
Mm-hmm. To my way of thinking, sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire, as they say.
Yeah. Still playing. And we're still playing. So now that we get into talking about Kaylee and cocaine, everything's redacted.
Uh-huh. Yeah, why is that?
I'm surprised they even let us hear any part of it. It's still playing, right? Yeah, it's still playing.
Yep.
Do you think there's any involvement with the cartel or anything like that? Because that's what really scares me.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know very much about this.
Okay.
So let me break down what I just caught. So she randomly starts talking about cocaine and about how Kaylee might have done cocaine. Then they redact the piss out of the next whatever the fucking amount of time is. Huge redaction right after she brings up cocaine and Kaylee, and then goes, "Do you think the cartels are involved in this?" I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, come on. This is a joke.
And like I said, we're being brought in to help. Just because everybody has dispersed.
Totally.
So like we work down here.
Okay.
We're the ones doing the interviews down here because we're down here and they don't want
Everybody.
everybody from Moscow driving down here.
They don't want Moscow driving down.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they're in Boise. A lot of these interviews were done in Boise. And all these kids were like from Boise and going to school in Moscow. But it's really super interesting. I can't get over this. We hear nothing. They've tried to hide from the public for 3 years that there was any possible drug angle. And now all of a sudden, all these public records are coming out and we hear about cocaine, cartel, drug dealers in the area, known drug dealer. Who was their drug dealer? All of a sudden, after 3 years and after the guilty plea, now we get to hear, oh, maybe there was an alternate suspect. Drug dealing and drug dealers and snitches and CIs and cocaine. Where was all that shit when Koberger was facing trial and wouldn't allow any alternate suspects? Isn't the drug angle an alternate suspect motive all day long and every day and twice on Sunday?
Yeah, you know what I would love to know? I would love to know where exactly all those files were tucked that Ann Taylor got that were mislabeled. I'd like to know if these were in those mislabeled files and hidden. Right. And that's why Ann Taylor may never, we don't know her or anything, but maybe she never even heard any of these that talked about the cocaine and the drug dealers. And
well, shit, if it's taken us 3 years to get them, maybe she never got them. Who knows?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a number of viable theories floating around within Moscow PD. I don't know what any of them are. I kind of asked a little bit earlier, but was there any other reason other than you don't think somebody would have been going after Xana and Ethan, why you would think somebody would want Kaylee or Maddie dead?
No.
The only reason you haven't heard other people around campus talking about either of those two.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing that I've heard of is like Kaylee having a stalker.
Okay.
That's the only thing I've heard. I don't know the validity of that.
Did Xana talk about any drama or beef or anything that she saw Kaylee have or Maddie have with anybody? Any type of offhand gossip that
One person that might know better than me would be her friend. Pretty shook up right now over all this, but I'm sure she's coming and talking.
and just is whose friend?
Xana's.
Okay.
She was really close, and so who found them are the people they called to come check out stuff, and her boyfriend. But they're both-
Emily and Hunter.
They had booked him.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, why are we not gonna go? So they went. So.
And Josie.
What was Josie's last name?
Oh.
I think you're talking about Josie.
And she would know because like I was more like the person that came over like on the weekends and like hung out. Somebody that like was in the same sorority as her, lived with, and right now, wow.
Is there anything around Xana while you guys were at the Sigma Chi house together that stood out to you as odd or anything like that? Something that didn't sit right with you?
Nothing. I really don't think this was an attack on Xana and Ethan.
Okay.
I think they accidentally ran into them.
All right. Is there anything just kind of in, Saturday leading up to this or even Friday, just around campus, not necessarily around these, the victims that you saw that didn't sit right?
We've had a really weird year at U of I. We had, so last year, my friends were at, which is a fraternity like right across the street from us, and they were sitting in a room that like had a window right above the door. And some guy with a bunch of face tattoos, and this has already been reported and stuff like that, threw a rock through the window while they were sitting there and like got mad at everybody. They had to barricade all the doors. It was like this whole thing. I don't think they ever found that guy. And then this year, somebody was walking around campus asking students if there was a party, right, on like a Sunday night. We were like, no. And same thing, face tattoos, just scary dude in general. And they ended up like literally tackling him in front of and arresting him. So I don't know.
Huh.
That guy.
And again, all of these kind of people would be alternative suspects. If there's a creepy guy running around, throwing rocks in windows, intimidating people, happen to be tackled by and detained by police, you would want to know about that guy.
Exactly.
But only if you don't already know who you want for the quadruple homicide.
Didn't seem like he was the only one of his type. Does that make sense? And then there was also somebody who pulled a knife on somebody on Paradise Walk that I believe turned himself in.
All right.
After that. But I mean, we got a very strange year. And then Yik Yak, there was somebody that said like somebody
Hello,
wrote
True
something
Sleuth.
along the lines of women, if you're walking outside, I have a gun and nothing will stop me or something like that. And of course, like it's reported that Yik Yak's Yik Yak. You can't find anything. So we've had a generally dangerous year, and I do a lot of stuff at the university. Like I'm pretty involved.
So there's a lot of sketchy fucking people running around, tattooed dudes
Right.
throwing rocks in windows, guys that pull knives on people, somebody who tells women, hey, I got a gun, and if you walk around, you can't stop me. But you know what? There's no alternative suspects.
And it just, yeah, it just seems so odd to me. Like you said, Lee, we haven't heard until now, but why all of a sudden are we hearing even kids saying cartel even before the police ask about it?
Yeah, and
she's
he kind
another
of blew off the thing. He's like, I'm sure Moscow Police Department has a lot of theories or whatever. He kind of
Right.
even blew off like the, oh, is it cartels? I'm sure they got a lot of theories.
Yeah.
Stuff. And this summer I did like Idaho bound talks every Friday. And every single time I sat up there and I said how safe I feel and how I'll walk anywhere at night. It doesn't matter if I come back from the library at 2 a.m. It doesn't matter if I'm, whatever. And now I feel like I lied about it. Like, I feel like I'm like, it's been a very strange year.
Other than the picture that you showed me of Xana playing the guitar, did you have any other like text or anything communication with her after leaving Sigma Chi?
No, I am the last text I sent. Let me see. I'm seeing if I have any photos from that night. I didn't take one photo last night. The only text I sent to Xana in the last couple weeks is when I found out that something had happened. We were at Sigma Chi, and like I said, like the kid who we were supposed to study with, he like picked up the phone and was like, I think Ethan's dead. Like, I can't come do it right now. And so I immediately texted Xana and I said, I love you. And she'll never open it.
All right, Sage, can you think of anything?
No, I think that's it.
Did you?
And maybe it's a minor detail, but everybody found out about the murders and she doesn't know about the murders. So she may not be on the vandal alert, but if they got the notice from the vandal alert, did she not get the notice of the vandal alert? How did that person say, I think Ethan's dead, and not say everybody else was dead? Because wasn't it when it did go out as a vandal alert, it was like a multiple homicide thing, but I don't know. It's all these questions. How did somebody hear Ethan was dead, but not hear that other people were dead is my question.
Right.
We got, did we get my phone number? You asked for that.
Miles, whatever.
Yeah.
And did we grab phone number from you?
I don't have
Okay. And did we ask last name?
No. Let me see. Another tough one. Yeah, it's I think this whole thing is, I think, the worst because, like, and I mean, no fault to you guys, but everybody keeps asking if there's anything weird. There wasn't anything weird, and we're all sitting. I mean, my whole friend group sat around and talked about everything, and none of us saw anything that we went, "Oh, that was strange." And I think that's the worst part, at least from our perspective. Like, our friend group is more of like the Xana Ethan side. I didn't really know the like Maddie Kaylee side of it as much.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Beth pretty well. I knew Death pretty well, but I just knew people that were under 21 that didn't go to the bars, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All of it's just strange.
Have you talked to your dad about this?
Yeah, I texted. So after the press conference and all the news reporters asked, like, what about the roommates? What if the roommates did it? I'm telling you guys right now, roommates didn't do it.
I'm going to stop right there. everybody was saying, what about the roommates? What if the roommates did it? I'm going to tell you right now, the roommates didn't do it. But it's interesting that was an early rumor. This is days after the murder, and everybody's saying, what about the roommates? The roommates may have done it. And she's like, I'm telling you right now, they didn't do it. And that's fine and dandy. But again, people who shame us for asking the question, like we're somehow monsters. That's what the college kids were saying. The rumor was going around, what about the roommates? Could the roommates have done it, been involved? And we're assholes for saying it, but the college kids are saying it.
Right.
We're also assholes for suggesting that there could be a drug angle. And the college kids are all saying, yeah, there was drugs in the house. Could have been a CI. Somebody was, but we're assholes for saying it. But the college kids all there said it. Now, if you ask the right people, all these college kids are victims and we should leave them all alone, but they're the ones saying the same things we're saying. Why are we assholes and they're not assholes? So they get to say, hey, maybe the roommates were involved. Maybe it was a cartel thing. Maybe it was a drug hit. They get to say it, but we're assholes if we say it.
Yeah, well, if it was my kid or anyone in my family, even my friends' kids, I would want to know every angle out there that could have possibly contributed to.
And I would want to rule those things out.
Deaths. Right.
Yeah, and I would want to rule. I'd want to rule each one of them out. Prove to me it can't have been a drug hit. Prove to me it couldn't have been involving the surviving roommates. Prove to me. I would want to prove, not just well, I can tell you right now, it didn't happen that way. No, that's not good enough.
Right. No.
Convince me
Show
that's been ruled out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm playing and it's redacted.
Redaction action.
Nice. Yeah, she says on one hand she hardly knows the roommates, but she can tell you right now the roommates had nothing to do with it. How do you not know the roommates, but you're certain you know the roommates didn't have anything to do with it? I'm not saying, by the way, the roommates had something to do with it. What I'm saying is you can't simultaneously say I don't really know the roommates, but I know they didn't have anything to do with this.
Have they said anything about the incident to you?
No, I haven't really tried though. The only person I've really asked firsthand was because and I are really, really close, and so really close too. And the day after it happened, we were out getting coffee, and we texted and we're like, "Hey, we have coffee for you guys," because the cops had put them up in the back. And we came out, and what told me, and of course I can tell this story better than me, but said that they stay at the Whites, right? So it's like Sigma Chi, the Whites, and then all of these auto houses right here, all a bunch of different houses. And had saw something in the middle of the night, saw a guy, and I'm telling you, I literally saw people walk out of my front door. I went, I wonder who that was. It's pretty, and saw somebody heard something, did something, locked her door, went to bed, and then thought, gosh, that was weird. And then woke up the next day at noon, like the rest of us, it was, probably, she went to bed probably around 4, and then woke up, called in, and was like, I have a really weird feeling. Can you guys come over for a second? Come check things out with me, downstairs. Because Xana, when you walk into the downstairs, door, right? And you walk in the door, you literally, there's a staircase and then Xana's room. And so that's why I think that somebody must have walked in that door, saw them, went, fuck, that's, I gotta kill them too, kind of thing.
Well, she's wrong about that.
Well,
because that was not Xana's room down there. That was Bethany's room.
Well, that's the. I mean, I was waiting for that moment because somebody said that she thought she was on the first floor. That alone, you can enter the sliding glass door on the second floor and be right there on. So, is she talking about the sliding glass door or the front door down on the first floor?
Right. Yeah. Which door?
Because that's the thing.
About.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Over, opens the door and sees them, calls the cops, and then walked out, and they were puking. They were so literally vomiting outside of their house. And then they were
what?
Who was vomiting?
Right. And why would they be vomiting? They didn't even know there was a homicide yet.
Right. If they didn't see anything.
Backed up.
They call over, opens the door and sees them, calls the cops, and then walked out, and they were puking. They were so
It sounded like this. They called Emily and Hunter over, and Hunter came out, and then the girls, Bethany Dylan were puking. That's what it sounded like. I'm going to back it up one more time because we don't know. It's heavily redacted, but listen carefully. Who's puking? And if they were puking, do we not have their puke on the video where you can see that they puke? And again, maybe she's just completely fucking embellishing the story, or she heard these things. She wasn't there, right? So we got to take that with a grain of salt, because maybe she didn't see shit and she's just like, oh, I heard that it was gross and they were puking. But I want to listen to it again. Listen carefully. Again, assuming Dylan and Bethany, one of them called Hunter and Emily to come over. And Hunter goes in and he discovers the bodies. He tells the girls to get out, and they go outside and they call 911. And that's the basic gist. Now let's hear about the puking part.
Probably she went to bed probably around 4, and then woke up, called in, and was like, I have a really weird feeling. Can you guys come over for a second? Come check things out with me, like downstairs. Because Xana, like when you walk into the downstairs, like door, right? And you walk in the door, you literally, there's a staircase and then Xana's room. And so that's why I think that somebody must have walked in that door, saw them, went, fuck, like that's, I gotta kill them too kind of thing.
By the way, if you go up the staircase, Xana's room is right off that staircase.
Right.
So is Dylan's, really. But so is that what she's saying? If you go up that staircase, Xana's room's right there. And then they saw the person come up. But that would indicate, of course, that the killer came through the front door on the first floor and went up the staircase. But we know that can't be true because Hitler and everybody else told us that the killer came in through the sliding glass door in the back of the house. Well, actually, Hitler didn't say that. That was, but anyways, yeah. But anyways, let's go to the puking part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. You want to say anything else?
I was just gonna say, what door did they open? Because she said they opened the door after the part about the stairs. So what door did they open? Did they open Xana's room? Was maybe the door to Xana's room closed? Or
maybe she's completely confused.
Well, because she wasn't there. So here we go again with the game of telephone.
Yes, right. That's exactly it. This all could just be misunderstood because of the game of telephone. All right, let's continue. I'm still waiting for the puking part.
Anyways, though, they call over, opens the door and sees them, calls the cops, and then walked out, and they were like puking. They were so like,
yeah. She clearly says Hunter went in, saw them, and then Dylan and Bethany came out and they were puking. That's what she clearly says. Now she could be completely fucking wrong. She could be completely wrong, but that's what she said.
Like literally vomiting outside of their house, and then they were all standing around there like, you guys know where Kaylee and Maddie are? And that's how they figured out that Kaylee and Maddie had died too. They didn't even
No, they got the vandal alerts, really, and then they complained to the cops. How come we had to find out about other people dying in the house from the vandal alert and not from you guys? So again, none of this girl's story is horrendously bad, like horrendous. It seems. Anyways.
Saw it or heard it or anything.
And what's last name? Alon?
Yeah, Alon.
Okay.
And like I said, she's in my right now.
Oh.
It's weird that they redact Emily's name out, but they don't redact her last name out. Because Emily Alon is who they're talking about, and they redacted Emily out, but we can hear her last name. That's weird.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you feel investigators should know? Anything you feel is pertinent, not pertinent? Anything else?
Go back to the Coke thing. Moscow, who most of the get their Coke from.
Wow, we got to go back. So let's go back.
Is there
anything else that's pertinent? Let's go back to the Coke thing. Everybody in Moscow gets their Coke from the same guy. I'm going to back that up because you guys are all a bunch of assholes that talk. There's no drug angle in this fucking case. I don't know where you heard that. No one's talking about drugs. There's never been any talk about drugs. Now all of a sudden everybody's talking about drugs. Let's find out where all the kids get the Coke in Moscow.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you feel investigators should know? Anything you feel is pertinent, not pertinent? Anything else?
Go back to the Coke thing. There's only one person in Moscow who most of the get their coke from. I guess I probably should tell you this. He used to also kind of hang out with Xana.
Okay.
And like Xana, and like he would take her to a couple formals kind of thing. I don't think we did this. His name's
Mason
Baman.
Bangman.
He also
Mason.
doesn't even go to U of I. He just lives on the University of Idaho campus and pretty much just hangs out. They didn't have like a terrible falling out. Xana didn't have terrible falling outs. There was never anything that was like, oh my god, like it was so, you know what I mean? Nobody hated her, including me. Posted a bunch of stuff about this and how sad he is about it, and I believe him.
Okay, not a big deal, but let me reiterate what she's saying in my way of saying it. So Xana used to have a relationship with Mason Bangman, who is the drug dealer that everybody gets their coke from in Moscow, but they had a pretty good separating ways. There was not a big falling out, but now you've got Xana with a boyfriend. You've got cocaine. You've got in their room. You got multiple reports of them doing cocaine. You've got their drug dealer or supplier who also dated her apparently, or had some kind of hookup with her, but it was okay and ended okay. I'm sure glad that this wasn't an alternate suspect, because obviously this couldn't.
Right.
I mean, it makes much more sense that a guy who can't get laid went and murdered all 4 people in the house than drug deals, former boyfriends with grudges. All that shit would never, of course, fly by a jury as reasonable doubt. Only the incel who can't get laid from out of town would be the clear pick, and there would be no reason for reasonable doubt on ex-boyfriends, ex-lovers, cocaine, drugs, CIs, all that other shit. Nobody would even think twice about that. No jury would have taken that seriously.
The guy who was supposedly stalking and was all the way around, and according to Cy Ray, was, his cell phone was found near all, the girls and everything, but nobody ever recognizes.
Yeah, nobody saw him. Yeah, I'm sure he was in the house multiple times, but nobody recognized him. Dylan can't point him out in a lineup multiple times, but I'm sure he was in the house before multiple times. He just kind of went undetected. Like, how is this? Why is that so believable to everyone? And all these other things about ex-boyfriends, lovers, cocaine, drugs, grudges, shit like that. Why is that all completely ludicrous? And the only thing that makes sense to you is random guy from the town over who's a little awkward and can't get laid, had to kill everybody because he's a budding serial killer, and this was what he needed to do that night. Yeah. But you can't figure out how he picked the house or the girls or knew anything. Anyways.
Right.
But had his fair share of like drug stuff, and he used to take Xana. Probably should have led with that. I told my mom that, and she's like, "Oh my god, Martha."
She's like, I probably should have led with that. I'm not even sure I hear the cops writing it down. Like I don't think they want this angle. They don't give a fuck. You've heard them pick up pens and at least take a moment to scribble something down. I don't even hear them scribbling something down when she's like, hey, I probably should have led with the coke angle. There is a drug dealer in town. I think it might be cartels. There might be, some connection to Kaylee. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about, the Grub Truck.
Right.
And like I know, like I said, I lived in the summer. I lived in the house he's living in right now. He's a devil that got kicked out of because he chased a bunch of kids back to the dorms one night. He's somebody you should probably have a conversation with. Kind of an interesting guy.
Okay. Anything else?
You said he chased a bunch of people back to the dorms?
Yeah, he was, I don't know if he was drunk or coked out or whatever he was, but so Old Greek is like right here, right? The dorms are like right here, Sigma Chi and all this stuff is over here. And he chased a bunch of back to the dorms and was like barking at them, and like, it's the reason he got kicked out of happened like 3 years ago. I don't think he's a violent guy. I also don't think would have the physical capability of being able to kill Xan or be able to kill Ethan just because he was so much bigger than him.
Chased him on running after him or drove his car.
Yeah, barking at him. I'm gonna kill you, kind of. Yeah, like I mean, not obviously. I mean, people throw that around. Yeah. So.
I feel like she embellishes a lot.
Yeah, I think she's enjoying herself. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going.
If this tells you kind of what kind of is, I paid rent to me all summer, and it was like $150 a month or whatever, right? And instead of paying the landlord, he just pocketed all the money, kept all of it, right, as a fraternity man would, right? And so we got an eviction notice this summer because man didn't use any of the money we paid him to pay any of the rent.
Of course.
Yeah, which was really good, you know, good landlord liaison. This is him. This is a beautiful story. And like, this is a photo of him and Xana together.
They were close enough that she's got pictures of the two of them together.
Yeah, that's him and Xana.
So they went to the formal together.
On there.
Yeah. Mason. Like I said, I don't. The idea that Mason would do this is pretty outlandish to me. But Mason will understand the drug portions of it, and that side of things.
Thank you.
All right. And you're pretty confident that not to go out of left field, you're pretty confident that this is the one that picked them up from the Grub Truck.
I'm 100% positive that's who drove him home.
Once again, unless I'm missing something, she's 100% positive that who drove them home wasn't Eric Gower. That's what she says. Am I missing that? She says,
No.
This is the guy that drove me. This is the same guy that picked the girls up. And he even reiterates, I'm 100% positive that's the guy that drove the girls home. That's not Eric Gower, according to her. So either she's mistaken, she's a liar, or the reports are mistaken or lying. It's got to be one of those four.
I would like to know what is making her so positive. That's what I would like to know. Like if you could interview her again, I'd be like, so what makes you so positive when you're watching the video of the Grub Truck that it's the Sobro and it's not Eric Gower?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. The whole thing is weird.
Yeah.
All right. Do you know much about an Uber driver named?
Oh, wow. Now they're going to get to Eric Gower.
We don't take Ubers very often in Moscow. Uber is like not something people do very often.
Okay.
So not only is she 100% positive it was this other guy, but when they ask about Eric Gower, she's like, no, we don't take Ubers very much. Now, granted, Kaylee might have known Eric Gower personally and had his number in her phone as a personal contact and would get rides from him when he wasn't on duty riding for Uber. And all of those things may 100% be true. But you can't ignore that this girl believes 100% she knows Kaylee and Maddie got in a car with somebody else, not Eric Gower. I am not letting this go. This girl clearly believes she knows for a fact Kaylee and Maddie got into a car with somebody else, and it wasn't Eric Gower. So now I'm super curious. I can't just let that go.
For a while, the university was trying to do like vandal Ubers, where like local Ubers were free, and then people were doing stuff like taking it to Boise and stuff. They had kind of curbed that a little bit. But no, I don't.
Okay. You never got a ride from a guy named.
No.
Okay.
We don't. Lyft was trying to come back, but like Uber and Lyft weren't super popular.
Okay. I think that's really all we've got.
Okay.
Like I said, I'll keep your information on hand if there's anything else.
Okay.
One of the many rabbit trails we can probably go down.
Okay.
And if there's anything else that you would like to include that you didn't, you can reach out. I'll leave you. I don't have any business cards with me. I could probably run to my desk and grab one, but I'll leave you our information, and then you can call in and we can take an additional statement over the phone or meet up with you somewhere.
I just want this guy dead. Whoever did this. Like, I have to be morbid about it, but like, I want to be there when he gets like sentenced to death and stuff. This is awful.
So that's I put both of our names on there. That's my phone number. Is a cell phone, so you can text it if you just have a quick minute, like, hey, can I call you in a little bit or something? Or if you don't call it, you can also call the office and get a hold of my desk phone as well.
Is this something I can like tell people to call?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then with that,
What bothers me about the car thing is, so Cynthia Rose talking about, well, you couldn't really see the car from the Twitch stream, could you? Here's the thing. I saw video footage and I can't remember where it was. It was one of those really clear as day video footage. It's not the Grub Truck Twitch stream. It's shot from like across the street at the Grub Truck and the car that the girls get into. Where did that video get taken from? Was that somebody's personal cell phone? Was it another video camera? Because it's not the Twitch feed there, but there's a video that we've seen that shows the Grub Truck and the car. Was it in the latest Netflix documentary?
It was, but also I'm pretty sure Christie's Chaos had it a while back. I know the angle you're talking about. I can't remember which camera it came from, but
I think it's in the Netflix video.
Yeah,
it's not the Twitch video, and that's why I was so stunned about it, because on the Twitch video, I'm like, it's impossible to see what car they get into. Not on the video that we saw on the Netflix thing. You can see the car, and I don't think it's Eric Gower's car. That's what freaked me out when I saw it. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't match Eric Gower's description of his car. So whose car is that? And they kind of just blew past it real quick on the I think it was the Netflix video. All right, we got 5 seconds. We'll finish this up.
We'll conclude the interview at 3:00.
Let me see if I can find that. So we're going to end there, but let me see if I can find that video. Hold on.
Amanda just put the link in the chat.
To what? The link to what?
I think it's to Connor's video.
That has that video that view?
Yeah,
so
she just put it in there.
I can't seem to copy and paste that. I need it in private chat to copy. It won't let me copy and paste. I can pin it, but I can't do anything with it.
If you go in your regular, hang on a second, let me see if I can grab it.
Or you can send it to me on Teams real quick.
I was just gonna send it to you in Teams real quick. There you go.
Okay. Let me see if I can do this.
Or if that doesn't work, there.
Oh, there it is. Hold on.
Yep.
So what camera is that? Oh, it's from the bagel shop.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to the moment in question. There it is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on.
We're holding.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. What color was Eric Gower's car?
Like a silverish, wasn't it?
That's what I thought. So this is what I want to show. Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm not trying to make a big deal of this. You guys correct me. I need to understand how I'm understanding this wrong. If I'm wrong, I want this corrected. I want to not say something wrong. So first of all, we need to confirm, is Eric Gower's car, the Uber car that picked them up, silver? Someone's saying silver Prius. I thought it was silver too. Find a document
Yes.
that says Eric Gower's car is silver. Also, I think that car was photographed in the ISP documents. We saw Eric Gower's car in detail. So if it's a silver Prius, let me add this to stage. This is the video from the bagel shop across the street from the Grub Truck. Watch this. Is that silver
No, that's gray.
or green?
Yeah,
I don't know. Is it silver?
It doesn't. Silver is different. Silver is a metallic. Gray is not.
Is that does anybody agree this is Eric Gower's silver Prius? Now the question is this the car the girls get into? So unfortunately a lot of time goes by where that car is just sitting there.
Well, and my question is, where are all the kids?
Well, they're on the other side of this Grub Truck.
Yeah, but no, I'm trying to point at the screen like you guys can see what I'm doing. But there were kids hanging out in front of like where that red car is. Now, see, why did that jump?
I'm jumping
Oh,
the video.
you did it.
I'm trying to find
me,
the.
DA.
So there's this group of kids right here, right?
Right, but
And then there's a group of kids
right.
over here that are coming up.
Now there's a silver car, but it pulls in on this side of the street.
Yeah. Now is this right? Is that Kaylee? In that whitish colored sweater. Now let me skip forward a little bit. Come on, I'm trying to get the moment when they get to the car. Here, Maddie, Kaylee. And you can almost see Maddie's distinctive drunk walk. She's got that big leg kick that she does when she was walking drunk on the street. So I mean, I can't say for certainty that's Maddie and Kaylee, but I'm going to back it up and play it one more time. Is that Maddie? Is that Kaylee?
See, that's what I'm saying.
And here's what's consistent though. Eric Gower stated Kaylee got onto the front seat with him, and that did look like Kaylee got onto the front seat. But is that a silver Prius?
But here's my there were all kinds of kids hanging out right in front of that store window. The window there in front of behind the red, what is that, SUV or whatever, that it was packed. There was all kinds of people. So what, I'm confused. Where are all the people that were around there at this time? See, Pamela Smith has said, that's my question. Where are all the people that were at the Grub Truck that night? What is happening here?
Well, again, I think a lot of people are hidden behind that. They're on the other side of the Grub Truck, but there's a few people here and there's a few people there. I think there's people, but yeah, there was a large crowd there earlier.
Yes, because there's all the kids that are hanging out down away from the Grub Truck towards the corner, the opposite direction that Jack Showalter took. There was all kinds of kids hanging around. They would get their food and they would go down and around there, kind of. So,
all right, I'm going to back this up one more time. I'm going to put this on screen one more time because people are saying, is this a silver car or not? So I've got us completely removed. Now, when it's closer to us, when this car comes from the right side of the screen in front of the Grub Truck, it's going to be lit up in a different light. And maybe it looks silver like that just for a moment. When it pulls in, though, it looks like it's much darker than silver, but maybe it's just me. So let's keep looking. Is that silverish? Maybe. But it looks like dark to me, blue or green or black or something darker. It doesn't look silver. It doesn't even look gray to me. It looks dark. And that's the car they get into. So is that, and I can't zoom in, can I? Can I zoom in on this? I can't zoom in. Oh, wait, I can do this though. Hold on. Stand by. Let me remove this for a second. Oops, there's nothing to look at, just a blank screen. Hold on.
Yeah, and you don't see Jack walk away because from this angle, you would definitely see Jack walk away.
He's right there. Where are they?
Oops, come on. Why did that do that? Damn it. Control Z. I want. My controls are sucky. Hold on, I'm going to try to get this. Okay. Is that a silver Prius? Is that Eric Gower's silver Prius? I don't know. I don't know. Are you still looking at it? Were you still looking at it, Robin? Oh, how come you're muted? Oh, you're muted. That's why.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little confusing, but it still doesn't look silver to me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And listen, this girl says 100%. I know that the girls went home with the same Sobro driver from Sigma Chi that I got a ride home with. And I'm 100% certain that's who picked him up. You can see it in the Grub Truck video. Was she talking about this video? Maybe the Grub Truck video wasn't the Twitch feed video. It's this video. Maybe she's like, you can see it in this video right here. That's the same guy that picked me up. And when she shows, when she was talking to the same guy, is he the guy that cried when it was shown up? Like, it's really fucking confusing. Charcoal gray. So is charcoal gray? Is that if you think this, and I'm not saying you're wrong, if you think that's charcoal gray, then is that the difference between silver and charcoal gray? It really is the same thing. That somebody listed it as silver in one thing, but it really is charcoal gray in another, and it is the same car. Does Amanda? Okay. If Amanda's still here, can Amanda find the document from ISP where they where they had Eric Gower's car all photographed inside the lot at the Idaho State?
Yeah,
lab?
she just put a picture in there.
She just did. Okay. Where'd she put it?
Teams.
Okay.
Yeah, now see, that's not silver to me. It's gray.
Where'd she? Oh, okay. There you go. There's the answer. There's the car. That's supposedly Eric Gower's car. That car does look like the car back there, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's really dark. So there you go. All of this for nothing because I said it didn't look silver to me, but maybe that is a lot closer. It's a really dark colored car. So, but it still leaves fundamentally the problem. She's 100% certain. One, she's 100% certain that they got into the car with the driver that she went home with, and she'd never heard of Eric Gower because they asked her multiple times, you ever heard of, and they redacted it, but they're talking about Eric. And she said, no, we don't really use Lyft. We don't really use Uber. You sure you hadn't heard of this person? No, I'd never heard of them. So she definitely says, I know for a fact the girls got in somebody else's car. It wasn't Eric Gower, but maybe this is Eric Gower's car. And maybe she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about because maybe she's embellishing a lot of stuff. You have to, all of that's just food for thought. So there you did. We did it live. Food for thought.
We did
it live. Any last minute questions, comments? What do you guys think? Do you guys think, let me ask the audience. What do you guys think? Did Kaylee and Maddie clearly get into the car of Eric Gower and this girl is completely wrong? Even though she says she's 100% certain that those girls got a ride home with her Sobro driver that night. Is she wrong? And the girls actually got into the car with Eric Gower. What do you guys think?
Mountain Mama wants to know, did Eric have a different car? I don't think so that he would have used that night, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be just a simple matter of she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Yeah.
I'd like to know if the police ever talked to the person that she said was the Sobro driver. That would be very curious to me.
And she could be a little obsessed with coke, but she clearly thought it was maybe cocaine related. She should have led with the drug dealer. She asked if the cartels were involved. She's afraid it's the cartels. Is that obsession, or is that the rumor on the street? Oh yeah, somebody's wanting to know. Good catch from the audience. Someone's wanting to know why on this video the timestamp up here is 9:48 p.m. What's the answer to that?
There's
Wait a minute.
a lot of.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's a lot of funny stuff concerning a lot of these videos.
Yeah.
Timestamps that are
That timestamp is
wrong.
severely off, right? It's severely off. It should in theory be 11:13 at like 1:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Yep.
And I would want to know as a detective or an investigator, what's the explanation for the timestamp being off on this? And if there's an explanation, it should be documented. By the way, this video, which shows this car at this time, is incorrectly listing the time because the owner didn't set it whatever correctly or never set the time or what. An explanation should be given why the timestamp. Because again, if this goes to a jury, they've got to document and build their case with footage, and they got to explain to the jury why the time difference is off.
Yeah,
That's a massive time difference.
And as he's right, where are all the feet under the truck?
Good point. Yeah, good point.
You would see a lot of feet and stuff going on. See, there's we're always saying that there's a lot of fuckery going on here.
Now, this timestamp, to be fair, if you took the hours out, 48 after almost could work, right? Because Eric Gower picked them up sometime around 1:45 somewhere and got them home before 2:00 in the morning. So if you took the hour out of this equation and just went by the minutes, this might actually match up with some of the story, but the hours are way off. This fucking case, man.
Yeah.
Pardon my French. All right. Well, that's good enough for now. All of you try to get some sleep. If you're the kind of person that things bug you, this one will probably keep you up tonight because your mind, if you're like me, you won't get to sleep because your mind will be like, no, wait a minute. If that, run that back, if that's, and then I'll just like all night long. In fact, I'll dream about it and start kind of trying to figure that shit out because that's the way my brain works. But hopefully yours works differently than mine and you get a good night's sleep. Thank you, Robin, for joining me. Hope you get a good night's sleep with your injuries. Thank you, everybody who came and checked out the show tonight. Appreciate it very much. We will see you tomorrow night on Crimes After Dark. And Robin, I think you and I have a class to take tomorrow. We don't need to talk about it, but I think you and I are going to be in class tomorrow morning. So
yes, we are.
I'll see you in class tomorrow morning.
See you in school.
Yeah, I'm going back to school. All right. Take it easy, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.